Hello guys, it's Raptor Gaming 93, and I hope you can hear the rain that's outside right now. Because that might be annoying, but I don't think you can. My mic says it's not picking up anything, so I think you're fine. But alright, so we're gonna do a quick little tier list. Now this tier list is not gonna be not like any other. This tier list is not gonna be ranking every FNaF character all in one. This tier list is gonna be ranking certain characters. Certain characters from each game. Now, not every character from each game, because that would take way too long. Maybe one day I'll do that. Maybe one day. But this is my top three favorite characters from each game. So we'll go to FNaF 1, FNaF 2, FNaF 3, FNaF 4, and just. I counted the DLCs. I did not count Help Wanted, because Help Wanted and Ultimate Custom Night and FNaF World, because they all use characters that already exist in the game. Now, FNaF World has, like, some characters, but first of all, this tier list doesn't have those characters, so I can't even do that. And also, there's a lot of characters to put on this tier list if I had to place them all on there. So I'd rather not. So I left FNAF rolled out. Ultimate Custom Night has every character from every other game, so why would I use that? There's not really any new characters. Except for like QXR. That's about it. Then you have Help Wanted, which has every character. Now you could make the debate, well, Glitch Trap's in it, Plush Babies are in it. Yes, but they're also in the DLC. That's why I put the DLC down there. That counts for Glitch Trap and the Plush Babies. And then the other characters that existed from Help Wanted, like Dreadbear and Code Foxy. So it makes it easier for me. Um, Instead of like making those two separate, because it'd be basically impossible, because you only have two characters from each game, which means the tier list would not be top three, it'd be top two. So squishing them together in their own makes more sense to me. So we had four characters to choose from on that one. And the rest are just is just history. So we're gonna start with the best FNAF game of all time. No, not my personal favorite game, but the original. So we're gonna start with FNAF 1, the true and the one that started it all. Um, so here's all the characters from FNAF 1. Um, I'm not. I probably should have like done this in advance, so there will be a lot of editing because I might just randomly just be like thinking. Just want to give you a heads up. All right. So I have my characters in FNAF 1. I thought about it. I took a while thinking about it. So each game I'm gonna like probably cut me thinking about it and then I'll rank them. So first up we have is Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy is my favorite character from FNAF 1. A very mysterious character, but a very cool character. Even though they just are just like an Easter egg and they barely do anything and they crash your game. I don't think he crashes the game anymore. I think that's not a thing anymore. He used to. Next up would have to be Freddy Fazbear. He's the OG. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. And yeah, it's Freddy Fazbear. You gotta put Freddy Fazbear somewhere on the top three on FNAF 4, right? That makes sense to me. Now, the number three was fighting between two characters, but one has a complete different mechanic than the other, so I decided to add them. So the next one is gonna be Foxy of FNAF 1. Now, a lot of people, Foxy's their top favorite, but not me. I'm an odd person, I guess. But I put Foxy on this big. It was between Bonnie and Foxy on top on the number three on the top five on the top five the top three. So yeah, and Foxy's just got a complete different mechanic like no other character, like Freddy Fazbear, where he can like go through left and right. Foxy can run down your hall at full speed. Now I know Bonnie did that in the trailer, but he doesn't do that in game, so that doesn't count. Um, so yeah, now it's time to move on to FNAF 2. All right, so I thought about it. Now number one was always immediately like this, and the second one was immediately as well. The third one, I was thinking about a little bit, but like as soon as I thought of the character, I'm like, oh, that's got to be number three. So the first character is with the Bonnie. He's actually my favorite character. He's my second favorite character of the entire franchise. If I had to be brutally honest with you, I don't know what's about him that makes him like one of my favorite characters, but he's I don't know. I just it's super cool of a character. not you can like see his endoskeleton from like he doesn't have to take off his mask because he doesn't have one. It's so cool. It's a unique character from all the rest. Um, Next up is Toy Chica, which is probably my favorite of the toy animatronics. She is the most eerie and like most terrifying out of the toy group. I don't know, just the fact that she like takes off her beak and her eyes just like I don't know what would you call that? Just almost like possessed, I guess is what you would call those kind of eyes. The possessed eyes and everything. Those seem to point at a very creepy level to me. I don't know. And then third was Puppet because, come on, Puppet? I mean, you cannot put Puppet not on this team. I mean, goddamn. Damn. Um, Puppet is just such a cool and different character from any character we've ever had in the franchise. Now I know the fact that Puppet was supposed is actually in FNaF 1, but we don't see her, but I don't really care about that. But Puppet just like seeing Puppet in FNaF 2 is probably one of the most creepiest characters. So many people have like if you watch their YouTube video of them playing it, that is the character that gets them jump the most because it's just and you gotta focus on them so much. It's and a unique character, different from all the other characters in FNaF 2. Alright, time to move on to FNaF 3. Alright, I thought about it. Now, number one, it's clear who I'm gonna pick. If you're expecting like a plot twist, like, oh my god, I picked Phantom Marionette as my top, you are wrong. Obviously, it's Springtrap. Like that's no everyone's gonna choose Springtrap as their top one in FNAF 3. One of the coolest characters, coolest designs as a character. It makes sense why people want him in Dead by Daylight. I want him in Dead by Daylight personally. Such a cool character in the FNAF franchise. Just the fact that William Afton is in him is just awesome to me. Um, the next up we have is Phantom Freddy. Phantom Freddy's probably my favorite Phantom out of the just the whole Phantom crew. I don't know, it's just him walking past the door. It looks so cool to me. It's really cool character. Um, the only thing I want to know, does he have a leg or not? Just saying, because some of my animations, he doesn't have a leg, but FNAF World he has a leg. So, I, and he limps when he walks down the hallway. So I don't know if he has a leg or not. I mean, I guess if you were limping, you would have a leg, right? If you're not having a leg, you wouldn't limp. You would just be hopping. Um, all right. So third character, which was the hardest, not because it was like, oh, they were fighting against each other. It's just because I don't have many favorite characters in FNAF 3. I don't know about you. If you have like already like that character, but not me because it's just I don't know. They're not. They're all just I don't know. They're not the greatest characters in the entire franchise. If I have to be honest with you, this was hard because I couldn't think of which character would be the best because they're kind of all not my personal favorites. But I chose Phantom Balloon Boy. Now, before you go crazy in the comments, um, now just be happy I didn't add Balloon Boy in FNAF 2, right? But Phantom Balloon Boy, it's like I don't know, one of the most characters that make you jump after they're a jump scare because you just when you bring down the camera, they're just standing there and jump in front of your face. But I don't know, it was really hard for me to choose a character, but like that's the only moment in that game that made me go, all right, I guess I'll add him as top three. I don't know, it's just super hard. Also, this Phantom Balloon Boy is not that annoying. This is the only Balloon Boy that's not annoying. Well, I guess Never Balloon Boy is not annoying either. All right, whatever. That's the first time that Balloon Boy could jump scare, unlike the original. So FNAF 4, the creepiest game of all time. All right, so I thought about it for a little bit, and I pieced it together. I knew immediately what three characters I wanted. Just putting them in the order I wanted them to be in was the hard part. Like, who would be number one? Who would be number two? Who would be number three? Now, first up is gonna be Nightmare. Um, Nightmare is just a cool character. The fact that you could see through him when he's just like standing there is super cool. Like his opacity is down on him, on his character, so you can like see through him, which is just super cool to me. You can see his endoskeleton and everything. Such a cool character, and like I don't know, completely different from any other character, which is odd because the Phantoms you think you would see through since they're Phantoms, but you can't. It's not until Help Wanted you can. And their models are horrific in FNaF one. So yeah, there's Nightmare. Number two, um, has to be Plus Trap. I don't know. Plus Trap is. I keep saying this about every character being unique, but this character is definitely unique. I mean, just the fact that Plus Trap just kind of like stands on one side of the room in the complete darkness, and you're on the other side, and you have to listen. I mean, this game is all about listening, which is one of the reasons why it's one of the most scariest games. And I don't know, Plus Trap, it has like his own mini game and everything, which is just really cool. Also, a very freaky character too. Um, the number three is Nightmare Freddy. Now I know that the characters I'm about to bring up are like completely a different character, so you don't need to rage about that in the comments. All right, thank you. Ah, But Nightmare Freddy, I know this is FNaF World, not the official game, but in the teaser he does do this, where like the Freddles are like climbing all over him, like they're just on him, which is really cool. I don't know, I find that really cool looking. Like just the Freddles are just on him. You see that in the teaser for FNaF 4, and you see that in the FNaF World game where the Freddles are just on him, which is super cool. I think it's really cool. All right, next up is FNaF 4 Halloween Edition. All right, so I thought about who would be who in two and three. I knew who immediately I was going to use, but I just putting two and three together were I don't know, pretty hard to me, but eventually I figured it out. So number one. Now I don't think I ever brought this up, but my favorite character in the entire franchise is about to be number one in the FNaF 4 Halloween Edition DLC thing. Nightmare. Nightmare is my favorite character in the entire franchise. I'm not even joking right now. I don't know. Nightmare is my favorite. I can't explain much why, but I don't. Nightmare reminds me of like the Grim Reaper of like Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know. Like she symbolizes death. I don't know. It's super cool to me. Also, Nightmare's voice lines are just so cool as well. So there you go. Second character, which is kind of for the same reason as Nightmare Balloon Boy. His his model is completely terrifying. Like if you saw, I mean, realistically, if you saw any FNAF, if you saw any of these characters, you'd be pretty freaked out. But I don't know if like you could, I don't know, you could picture Nightmare BB in like a horror movie. Like that's how I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I could picture Nightmare Balloon Boy in that style of like a horror movie almost. And I mean, realistically, all the FNAF characters are going to be in. Well, FNAF One is going to be in a horror movie at some point, but coming out very soon. And also, Nightmare Balloon Boy's voice lines are insanely amazing. I actually, it's one of my favorite voice lines in the entire game. One of them has to be Nightmare Balloon Boy in UCN. I don't know. Nightmare Balloon Boy has amazing voice lines. I love them. So next character is Nightmare Mangle. Now this one's not for voice line reasons. I don't think Nightmare Mangle even has voice. I don't think so. I don't think so. But Nightmare Mangle's model is insane. Like she might be one of the biggest characters in the entire game if she ever like stood up like ever. Um, I I just take a look at its model. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, so I'm just saying it. So yeah, there you go. Now we're moving on to FNAF's location. All right, so I thought about it. I was insanely taking so long on this. Like, there are so many good characters in this game, you have no idea. Sister Location, well, I guess you do have an idea, but Sister Location has one of like the greatest, like perfect bunch of characters. Um, some of them were easy to narrow off, obviously, but you know, just most of them were just so hard to pick through because they're just so good. So the first one I'm gonna choose is Ennard. Now, I know Ennard realistically isn't a character. Ennard is just every character fused together, but that's so cool to me. Just like every character merged together to fuse into one body to basically get out of the underground facility or whatever you want to call that place. Um, to escape Circus Baby's rentals. But which is just super cool. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I love NR just being like that character. Like it's not a character that really is a character, but NR is like an amount of characters fused into one, which is super cool. Then next up is Circus Baby because Circus Baby is completely terrifying and has a crazy amount of lore, which is just so fascinating to me. And Circus Baby is a very mysterious. It has a very mysterious voice, which fits her with her very well. So that's why she's number two. Then you have Funtime Freddy, which is my third favorite. The voice lines are amazing on this character. His design is also insanely amazing. Now Funtime Freddy looks like a polar bear, if I had to be brutally honest with you. It doesn't look like any other Freddy, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but that makes him feel more unique from other characters. I know I keep saying that. Everyone's unique. Everyone's unique in their own way, apparently. All right, so now we're moving on to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. All right, so I thought about it. This one took a while because I want you to just look at this. The characters are from number one crate to Jeremy the Gravestone. That's how long the amount of characters are. It takes almost 3 rows. Well, it takes 2 full rows, and it takes like a almost half of another row, row. But it's insane how many characters I had to go through. This took so long. I completely forgot how many characters were in Pizzeria Simulator. So I got them all narrowed down. Most of the reasons they're on this is because of Ultimate Custom Knife, as to be brutally honest with you. But so the first one has to be Helpy. All right, Helpy is just the most adorable character in the entire franchise. Like if I wanted one character to be alive and real, it had to be Helpy because Helpy's just so adorable. Look at that. You can't tell me Helpy's not adorable. Look at that. Also I like how Helpy well obviously it's in the name, but Helpy helps us in all the games after Pizzeria Simulator and in Pizzeria Simulator, except for I guess not UCN or um Help Wanted, but or really I guess not really any of them. Actually, it's only Security Breach and it's only Security Breach and Pizzeria Simulator, but whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Just a unique character. A character one of the first characters to really be on our side. Now you could say Six Baby helped us, but not really. Six Baby lured us into the scooper room. So, well, yeah. Next up is Mr. Hippo. I mean, most relatable character in the entire franchise. Um, next up, I lost where the characters are. Oh, Music Man. Now this only because of Ultimate Custom Night, like Mr. Hippo, where you like, and obviously in the original they don't do much. They're kind of just things you buy. But it's the Custom Night they had more of a show of what they are, which is cool. Like Music Man is a character that is based on sound, which is really cool. I mean, I guess Springtrap was too almost, but because you had to lure him away with lures, which is audio. But I don't know, Music Man was more to the listening, like the Death Angel or whatever you call the A Quiet Place monster. Now we're moving on to the Help Wanted DLC. All right, I'm done. That took about 5 seconds or something. I looked at all the characters. We don't have a lot of characters to choose from, but looking at it, it was actually really easy. Now I realized I play Special Delivery last time, and I realized there's only 2 special delivery characters. I was expecting the skins maybe. It's only one and two of the characters. So I don't know what we're gonna do for that. Um, but we'll figure that out when we get to it. First up, we have obviously Dreadbear. Now, Dreadbear is one of my favorites for a simple reason, and I'll tell you right here. Ready? Ready? Get close. Get close. Ready? Get close. He's based on Frankenstein. Anyway, all right. I don't know how loud that was for you. Sorry. But no, the reason is just I know this is just a minor part in the game, but he's so huge at some point in the game, which look I when I saw that when I was watching somebody's playthrough because I don't have a VR headset, so I can't play help one. That's whatever. I'm fine. Seeing Dreadbird that huge was terrifying. Even without VR, that was very freaky of a moment. And all my animations can just show how much that was insane to me because all my animations show that. One moment, whenever Dreadbear appears, he's always bigger than every other character. Um, Next up we have is obviously simple Glitch Trap. Now Glitch Trap is my second favorite character. A lot of people's personal favorite from Help Wanted, but he's my second favorite. I don't know, he's just super cool that he's like a glitch and everything. I love that. That's just so cool. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I also love how he dances. He like dances in the background in the DLC, and he waves at you in the main game. And then you have my third favorite character, which is the Grim Foxy. The Grim Foxy. Grim Foxy is my third favorite for a simple reason, and that's because we finally got a Jacko Foxy. We needed Jacko Foxy for so long now. Now all we need is Jacko Bonnie. I mean Jacko Freddy. Jacko Bonnie. Let me tell you, I don't know, one of the coolest designs in this game probably. I don't know. Grim Fox's design looks so cool to me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but I'm just saying. Also, Grim Fox's hook is like one of the craziest hooks I think I've ever seen in my entire life. That is a big hook, all right? Next up is special delivery, which I don't know how to do this one, but I'll find out. So I made it work out. Um, I did it kind of without you on screen, but I'll explain it once we get to it. But I merged special delivery and UCN together because UCN has characters, so I did it. Fredbear, the coolest character to see in UCN. Let me tell you, seeing him was one of the coolest things I think ever. Well, not ever, because we've seen some cool moments, but crazy. It was just such a crazy moment in UCN. Um, it was so crazy. It's also the first time we've ever seen what Fredbear looks like, really, which was really cool. Then we have Freddy Frostbear as my second because he's just such a awesome character in Special Delivery. I think we can all agree he's probably one of the coolest characters in Special Delivery. It's Christmas Edition. It's basically the closest we'll ever get to FNaF Christmas Edition. So there you go. Also one of the coolest designs. I love how you can see like the icicles on him. That's super cool. We have a QXR. Um, not for any. It's because there wasn't many characters to choose from in this. QXR is like the only second character from UCN only, and I didn't want to put 8-Bit Baby on here because that was really stupid looking to me. So QXR's here for a simple reason, and that's because I needed the third slot to be chosen. So QXR's here. Uh, Also kind of a cool design, I guess. So yeah. Next up, we're moving to Security Breach. All right. So I thought about this. It was actually really hard because of one reason, but I decided to change it up a little bit. See how it was going to be. I was going to only have 3 characters. Obviously, only 3 characters, but I was going to change it to 4. You know, I'll keep it as 3. So the reason for why I wanted it to be changed to 4 is because one of them is the same character, but they're just 2 different. So we have Daycare Attendant, my favorite character in the entire game as a whole. But it was so hard to like choose many characters if there's 2 of the same character. So unless if you want 2 characters to take up this, 1 character to take up 2 slots, I'm only choosing this one. This counts as the 2 of them, by the way. This is just Daycare 10. All right. So we could just not, so we can have like the actual 2 other characters, not like 2 of the same character.
Hello, this is editing Raptor Game 93. I forgot to say the reason why I like daycare attendant as number one because I was too busy explaining the fact that the reason why daycare attendant takes 1 slot and that counts as 2. One, you get what I'm saying. Whatever, I already explained it. So I'm gonna explain it right now. The reason I like daycare attendant is because he has like one of the coolest moments in the game. It's like the most like it's completely dark. You're in a complete dark daycare, and all you hear him laughing in the background. Also, I love his design. I love how he like changes into 2 different characters. That's super cool to me.
My second favorite character has to be Shattered Roxy. I don't know, a very cool mechanic based on sound. Now, Music Man had that too, but a free roam kind of level where she would like follow you. I don't know, that was super cool to me. Also, how she had to break down doors was kind of cool to me. Had to make her break down doors. That was kind of cool. And then third, which is very similar to another character, the Blob. Very similar to Enard for the same reason. It's just super cool to see. Like you could see every character in him. You could see Bonnie. You could see Freddy. I think you could see Freddy. I think Freddy's in there, right? I know Chica's in there. I know Mangle's in there. I know Puppet, Circus Baby. I think Freddy's somewhere in there. I don't know. But I don't know, it's just super cool to see all the characters in the Blob, which is awesome. I don't know, just such a. It's also one of the coolest designs in part of this game. I had to say, it's crazy looking. All right, next up is Secure Witch Ruin, which is the last one. All right, it was hard to think about it. There was a lot of characters to choose from. There's a lot of moments in this game that are like crazy, so it took a while. But for a simple reason, Dickerton is my favorite. So obviously he's number one on Secure Witch Ruin as Eclipse. Um, but very cool moment in that game. Seeing him was very cool. The way he, like switched personalities really quickly is cool. Also the fact when you put on the mask, which I don't know if this has anything to do with lore reasons, but when you put on the mask, Sun would talk, and whenever you take off the mask, Moon would talk. I don't know. That was just cool to me. I don't know if you actually ever knew that, but I guess except for the first time you see him though, Moon does talk at a certain point when you have the mask on. I don't know. Next up, Glamour Bonnie. Seeing Glamour Bonnie in this game, I think we can all agree, was one of the cool moments, one of the greatest moments. Something we all wanted to see was Glamour Bonnie, especially knowing he existed somewhere. So seeing him was really cool. Now the third character, which was between like three characters by the way for number three, but I'm gonna put the rabbit. All right, the rabbit on number three. Now, simple reason for this. I'm gonna be honest with you. The first design of the one in the files was really cool, but that doesn't count as this one. But just the, I don't know, cool mechanic as a character, I guess, really. Um, I also now I don't know if this is true or not, but I love the story on the fact that he basically was made to prevent people from getting to the mimic. Like he's basically the fourth, not the fourth wall, the firewall. Oh, he's he's the security system. He is. He's basically the security system. So there you go. So that's this is the list. Let's take one final look at it. Let's take one final look at that. Look at that amazing. Look at it. Isn't it so amazing? Worked so hard on that. All right, but obviously this tier list might look different at a certain point. So maybe we should do another one of these at some point, or maybe all the characters at once, and we'll see how it looks. Or maybe we'll do them all together in like one tier list, or we'll just do them all separate, maybe, where we do all FNaF 1 characters, all FNaF 2, all FNaF 3, something, maybe. But for now, this is what it's gonna look like. So maybe at some point I'll do another one of these because this was fun. But this was something kind of different from something I usually do, so maybe I won't do it. But I feel like I want to do it again at some point. So this is my FNaF top three tier list thing for each game. So there you go. Now obviously this tier list might look different at some point because this opinions change at certain points. Like, well, for example, maybe at some point I'll say Fun the Freddy's better than Six Baby for now. No, but for now, but for now, this is how it'll look. The only thing that I could tell you is that Nemery will probably always be number one. Anyway, peace.